Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. I think I haven't really introduced myself yet. Since I started this YouTube channel, I posted about registered electrical engineer manager, about sustainable energy management. Okay, let me introduce myself. At least you know who am I and then what I do exactly as my career. Actually, my name is Zaini Abdul Wahab. I've been in this energy efficiency industry in Malaysia for the past almost 20 over years. It's way back from end of 1997. Actually, my career in energy efficiency started way back when I was a student. Not actually, I chose this career. It's not that I came into this career by default. It started way back when I was in my bachelor degree program in Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, National University of Malaysia. I had my final year project on energy audit. Yes, that project I had it by default because I was among the one that came late to pick the topic listed, posted on the the notice board. I was among the last one came, so there was only two topics to be chosen. One about material science engineering, another one energy audit. So somehow I picked energy audit. That was by default. Okay, but since then I was guided by two supervisors at that time. I was in third year. Prof. Abdul Halim Samsudin and Prof. Kamarul Zaman Sofyan. That time he was just Dr. Kamarul Zaman Sofyan. But that one, Prof. Halim or the Prof. That time, he was the Dean of the Engineering Faculty in UKM. I was guided by both of them. From there, I came across Prof. Yusof Osman from Fakulti Sains Fizik Gunaan UKM Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. Because I was looking during my literature review of my projects, somehow I bumped into Prof. Yusof Osman, introduced by Prof. Dr. Kamarul Zaman Sofyan at that time. From there, I bumped into from Prof. Yusof Osman, I was introduced to Dr. Hassan Batish, who was later became my first boss in my job. Okay, so I spent about 2 semesters. The first semester is about literature review on energy audit, and the second semester I did somehow a simple energy audit in UKM at the chiller plant facility at the main campus. That was my final year project. So that was by default, but somehow along the way I fell in love with this field, and from that on, I just know that this is new things, energy efficiency, energy audit, all that. So, and then by the end of my final year projects, I communicated quite frequently with Dr. Hassan Batish, introduced by that time Prof. Yusof Osman. And then I was employed after that. Actually, before I was employed by Dr. Hassan Batish, in a small company, I was offered 2 other jobs. One with the project management company, the one that involved in the construction of KLIA, the airport at that time, 1997. And then another one was a utility company, power plant. Okay, I was offered 2 jobs that time, in 1997. But I chose to be in that company with Dr. Samati because in 2 semesters I fell in love with this field, energy efficiency, energy savings, all that. And this energy audit project really dragged me further to explore further in this particular industry. That was the start. Okay, how I started. So this is the career that I chose. Since then, I joined Dr. Hassan Batish. That time energy efficiency is not something common. I think that time I remember rarely my friends knew what I was doing, because when I told them I'm doing energy efficiency, energy audit, all that, none of them know what it's all about. Okay, so this is how that was how I started. Okay, but I know I like this field. I somehow I want to explore further that field, but it was that time wasn't that much opportunity available. So when I joined Dr. Hassan Batish, my first job, that's why I was never being unemployed. During my time graduation, it was a recession, 97, currency crisis. Okay, and then 1998, the political crisis in the country as well. the sacking of the Deputy Prime Minister. Okay, so I was employed instantly, before even I finished my submission of my final year project in UKM. So that was how I started. And then with this small company, with Dr. Hassan Batish, we managed to secure a few jobs. And our business was energy efficiency training. Dr. Hassan Batish was one of the key trainer. I was assisting him until one day he told me, Zaini, you pick one topic, you have to train these people. You know what, these people? These are people with experience, engineers, senior engineers, senior technical people came for energy measures training course that time, 5 days training program. So that was how my career in training started. Okay, just imagine, I was asked to train these engineers in that time. My first topic was air compressors. Okay, and I never see air compressor. I never see that. I never had the experience of seeing the real air compressor. I just know from the theoretical part. But somehow Dr. Hassan Batish was very, somehow I really owe him a lot, because he guided me. He asked me to present the topic to all the trainees, and then he was at the back, jump in whenever I stuck when it comes to the explanation, because I had basically almost zero experience in air compressors that time. So that's how my career started. And then we also managed to secure a few energy audit jobs. Okay, energy audit jobs. My first job of energy audit was we audited Klang Container Terminal, now Westport. Okay, was my first energy audit experience. Dr. Hassan Batish's styles of somehow guiding his employee, basically. He was a lecturer in Australia, He was a lecturer in Australia. He just asked you to go and then learn from that. He did not really tell me what to do one by one. So he gave me some idea, you go there, out there and find it yourself. And then he asked to get some information, come back to the office, process it, and then from there he will start to talk to me, explaining a few things. That's how he trained me. So we were really independent. We were asked to be independent. So this is my first energy audit job experience. Okay. So that was how my career started. So I started my career in energy efficiency as a trainer, okay, and then energy auditor, okay, and then we did some projects looking for energy saving potential for remember that time one year projects funded by the government. Pulp and paper industry, we were tasked to find opportunity for energy savings. Pulp and paper industry, we were working together with an expert from Finland, and Australia as well. So that was my experience. It started. I worked with Dr. Hassan Batish for almost 2 years, but I did not feel comfortable. You know why? Because I did not have the hands-on. We talk about chiller or that. I never see big chiller. That's why in 2000 I decided to resign. But we decided I resigned in a good way, mutual consent. I told Dr. Hassan Batish, my boss, I had to go because I need to have that hands-on. It will help me because as being an engineer, hands-on is something that I must have before I think about the next step of my career as an engineer, in particular energy efficiency engineer, or if I want to embark further on this energy efficiency field as my career in the future. That's how I look at it. And then I resigned. I joined a facility management company at that time. It was a joint venture between Johnson Control and Propel Berhad. They call it PJC, Propel Johnson Control. They were maintaining mainly government hospital, but they got some job in the private sector in the factory. I was assigned with the one factory in Bukit Beruntung, okay, TRW Automotive. It was a very good experience because I arrived at that factory and it was about 70% completion of the construction. So I was involved in the witnessing all the TNC, testing, commissioning all the system until handing over, and finally during the liability period, about 18 months, and then subsequently The factory managed to get QS, if I'm not mistaken, QS 9001 certification, or 9000 something, I cannot recall, but that's how I started. In that factory, I had that hands-on. I was in charge of the facility management of the factory, because Joseph PJC basically was a outsourced company to maintain all facilities. So I had a chance. I personally sometimes I did on the air compressor myself, the chiller myself to have, and I saw how my technician dismantle the whole component and put it back. I saw how they did the troubleshooting. Even though my job was a facility administrator, but that opportunity gave me the experience to really had the hands on. So once I was there, I had enough. I had this. My purpose just to get the hands on. So I was there about almost over 1 year. Almost 2 years, and then I became a consultant again. Okay, I joined a UK-based consulting firm focusing on energy efficiency. This was the time I was introduced to that business model, energy performance contracting. Energy performance contracting. This is the concept where my company was that time invested to implement a saving measure, and then the client pay us from the saving achieved. That was how I was introduced into energy performance contracting. I was based in Penang that time alone to set up the business, develop the business over there with one operation office. The rest supported from my colleagues from KL office and also office from UK. Okay, and then after 2 years, almost 2 years, okay, somehow I made a career change. I joined the Johnson Control. That time they split up with Propel Berhad. They became Johnson Control. I was based in Intel, Penang, managing facilities again. This experience in Intel enlightened me further about my hands-on experience, more on managing the people, because I had about almost 40 over personnel to manage at the age of below 30 years old in Penang. Okay, we manage 14 over buildings, under Intel, Penang, Bayan Lepas, and Kulim. I had experience of managing people, very very challenging. When you have at the time my staff, as old as 63 years old and as young as 23 years old. So a range of staff. While I was in Penang, I started to think. I had experience in private sector. I just want to have a try. What's the feeling of working with the government? Of course, I tried to look for a government agency that related to energy efficiency. Okay, so somehow I think God made it easier for me. I secured a job with Energy Commission. Okay, Energy Commission. So Energy Commission is an agency that looking into energy, in particular energy efficiency as well. But I wasn't straight away employed and then be in that particular department that involved energy efficiency. But somehow I managed to find my way. After 2 years in Energy Commission, I managed to be in the energy efficiency unit or demand side management unit. Okay, so I had experience in private sector, and then I joined the government sector. So I think it was interesting. How I managed to somehow bring my private culture, private sector culture through in the government, the way how I work everything. And in government, it was interesting. I hit the demand side management unit, and then I was in Energy Commission for about 6 years. After that, I think when I joined the government, I did not plan that to stay forever. I know that, My planning was the most I will stay there for about 10 years maximum. I know I'm not that kind of person that will suit in the government's environment that long, because I'm very dynamic person. I like to explore new things. I want to try it myself. I want to have options, in doing things. I want to explore this way. So being a government, I don't think I can do that, because I have to follow all that. I have to be in that kind of culture that all the procedure have to be followed exactly. So it's not to worry about it. But anyway, it was a very good experience. in Energy Commission, the best part of being in Energy Commission last time, or it was, when I was in the government, I managed to get the opportunity to go for training about energy efficiency at the best place you can go for this kind of training. So I went to Japan, I went to Singapore, some other country to learn about energy efficiency. This is the time I started to see what were available in the energy efficiency industry. So this is the time I started to think that I cannot do it. I cannot do everything. I cannot. I have to focus. I have to focus. When I spent quite a lot of time in Japan, frequently, almost few times a year at that time. Okay, we were taught a lot. From the technologies, from the solutions, technical solutions. What really struck my mind was, I learned about energy management. The area that often being, that time I thought that often being seen as one, which is not. Okay, so when they talk about energy efficiency, they talk about energy saving. But when I was in Japan, I managed to differentiate that two areas. One is the technical part of energy efficiency. Another one is the strategic part, or the soft part, or the management part of energy efficiency, which is energy management. So I can see that so-called border. I can see that clearly. That's why my experience in Japan, went there a few times a year, and then especially after I was tasked to implement the efficient management of electrical energy regulation in 2008. I have to go and learn in Japan. Okay, I went to Thailand as well. Okay, was sent to Thailand for training on that. I can see that. I think in somewhere in 2008, 2007, that time. I think the 2 years where I spent between 2007, 2008, 2009 until 2010, it was the years that I spent a lot of time overseas, learning. Okay. Same time, I managed to see the difference between the technical part of energy efficiency and the management part of it. And then I give a thought to myself. I know I cannot do all. Impossible for me to master everything. I have to pick one. Which one suit me the most? And knowing myself very well, okay, knowing what I love to do, knowing my nature, okay, so I think I decided to focus on energy management system. Okay, that's why I thought about energy management system way back in 2007, 2008. Okay, when I thought about energy management system that time, people always thought that I'm talking about energy saving solutions, energy saving measure, or the technical part of energy saving technologies. So, but that time I feel okay because it's fine, because I'm learning myself. So I know I'll take some time for me to master this subject and then start to explain to people correctly. Alright. Okay, so that's why in government I learn a lot, especially and same time I decided to specialize. Okay, knowing myself, I love sharing knowledge. Okay, that's why I love giving trainings. That's why the experience during my first job with Dr. Hassan Batish, he taught me how to deliver when it comes to trainings. Okay, I saw him almost for 2 years. How he managed the trainees in the classroom. Okay, from the difficult person until the just a quiet person in the training room. I saw him in front of my eyes. Same time, he shared me a lot of tips, all that. I learned myself as well. I was given a chance to try here and test, deliver the topics and all that. So I know that I love to continue to do that. Okay, that's why. So when I decided to focus, specialize in energy management, I know what I can do. Basically, my job, the way forward, basically, my job is basically to advise people, to tell people what to do. Same time, I have to go and train them properly. Okay, that's my job. Okay, that's my job. Okay, so and then after almost 6 years in government, I think after that very great experience in there, went for training, a lot of training. I learned from many experts from Japan, from other countries as well. I think in 2010, I decided to leave the government, because I think I want to apply what I learned, especially what I learned abroad, more flexible way. Because for me, being in the government, it will limit my opportunity to apply all that. Government, right? You cannot simply do as you wish. You have to follow that. I won't waste my time to change that. Okay, that's the nature. But I get what I wanted when I joined the government. I get all this experience. I see things from different perspective, from government point of view, how they do things, how they develop policy and all that. Okay, how things are started, how things supposed to go, how things they are decided by the top management, how things are being done in the government, and how it was conveyed to the people. And at the same time, I was involved with a lot of program that involve people. Okay, I spoke a lot in seminars, conferences, local, and also sometimes represented the Energy Commission overseas. Okay, so somehow I managed to use whatever I learned through my training experience, in delivering my messages. Somehow the response was very good. Okay, somehow, that's why when I was in the Energy Commission, I was invited regularly to speak. Somehow, by industry association, by a lot of people. So it's become norm to me. Talking about energy efficiency everywhere. Different kind of people at a high level conference. Even up to go to the school. Okay, to the school students, factories. From the engineers to the operators, all kind of programs, awareness program, all that. That really enhance and polish my skills in delivering the topics to the people. Okay. And then 2010, I was about to leave the government. I secured a job, but somehow my rescue is still there in the government. So somehow in the government, they managed to somebody in the government did not want me to leave. Somehow, they managed to create a position where I was seconded to the Ministry of Energy, Green Technology and Water that time, KETA, Kementerian Tenaga Teknologi Hijau dan Air. Okay, to lead a project, special projects, national level programs about energy efficiency. Okay, and then after that, I was told that a new agency to be come up. We focus on the renewable energy efficiency, and that time they said that the agency will be doing, instead of just renewable energy, they will do energy efficiency as well. So I decided to stay, and then I moved to the agency subsequently. I resigned from ST in 2011, at the end. But things not going well, when it come to it's not going well. I think that's not the right word. Thing did not happen as it was expected. So I think I served my time in the government well. I managed to get what I wanted to get when I joined the government. I think it's time for me to rejoin the private sector then. Okay, so in 2010, I was seconded to the Ministry of Energy, and then in 2011, somehow at the end, towards the end, I moved to the SEDA Malaysia. Okay, but somehow in February 2012, I rejoined the private sector. Okay, so over that experience, I think somehow for me it just gives me more perspective when it comes to this energy efficiency. Okay, it gives me more choices. Where I want to go, what I wanted to do. Okay, with all that, with all the experience, with all the knowledge, with all the exposure that I managed to get from when I was a government, locally, internationally, all that, give me perspective. What exactly I wanted to pursue in my career. Okay, so at the age of 37, I was the director of energy efficiency in SEDA Malaysia. I decided to leave because I want to explore new things. Not really new things, something that I wanted to do myself. Okay, and then to make it short, okay, I left SEDA 2012. I joined NSCO, Energy Service Company. Okay, this company doing large-scale EPC projects. Okay, EPC project, Energy Performance Control project. They did a lot of projects in Malaysia for the private sector. It involves a few millions in every site EPC projects. Okay, and also not only in Malaysia, also in Thailand as well. Okay, so while helping develop this EPC business, same time I was given the opportunity to set one new arm in that company, focusing on consultancy and training. Okay, this is where I really learn new things. Means that this was an opportunity where I managed to put all my experience for over almost 20 years that time into what exactly I wanted to do. So I started to offer services, training services. I started to offer energy management consulting services, in particular related to ISO 50001, from the adoption until the certification. Okay. At the same time, I also did some projects, that involve some kind of research, policy development study and all that. Okay, so this is where I really applied all that, and it works. Honestly, I surprised myself. It works. It works where I would say I quite successful when it comes to developing that new units. However, unfortunately, the energy performance contracting market in Malaysia did not move as we expected because of a lot of issues. I think I'll talk about EPC challenges in Malaysia in other videos, not this video. And then things are not moving well with the EPC business, so that it's not giving up. Okay, but for me, I can't wait too long. I cannot wait until for nothing. So, but somehow over the years, that time I feel that I had enough in me, okay, and had enough surrounding me for me to really be on my own. Okay, I started to think about it somewhere in 2018, something like that, 2018. I started to have the idea. I wanted to do it on my own, 100% on my own, explore things on my own. Because before that, I was with a partner lah, alright, to do EPC business, all that. I started to look around. Okay, I talked to some of my close friends what they think, if I be on my own. okay, I was also inspired, by some of my friends in the industry that being a freelance, and they got all the freedom. Okay, even though some of them are quite well known, some of them just a consultant, a freelance consultant, but they're enjoying their jobs. So there's something that I wanted to explore. I'm not really bothered about positions, basically. Okay. I don't really I'm not the kind of person that looking into career satisfaction through how high my position is I'm going to attain. Okay, so it's fine with me. And that's why in 2019, okay, I made up my mind. It took me 1 year to do some kind of research, look around, asking myself again and again whether is it exactly what I wanted to do. Yes, finally I got the answer in me. Yes. Okay, yes. Okay. So in 2019, I set my company. I formed a small company, okay, as a platform for me to be on my own. And somehow in somewhere the first quarter of middle of 2019, I fully became freelance consultant, independent. Okay, so I left my partner, and then in mutual consent. So we work no longer same payroll. We work whenever we have project to work together, to collaborate together. Okay, and I started to become my own. So now 2020. Okay, 2020, the first full year of myself as a freelance consultant, as energy management system consultant and trainer. Okay, so that's how I think took me almost half an hour to talk about who am I. Okay, so that's me. Okay, that's me. Okay, that's me. That's how I came into this industry. That's how I came into this field. For me, this job is not just a career to me, not just a job for me. It's my passion as well. Okay, somehow energy efficiency has become part of my life. Okay. So if you see my bill at home is not about just slightly over 100 ringgit. Okay, I'm energy efficient. Okay, I don't drive a big car. I drive a hybrid car. Most of the time I use public transport whenever possible. Okay, so it's become part of myself. It's easier for me to talk when I talk about energy efficiency because I'm doing it. Okay, so I think now that's me. That's me. So because a lot of time I receive queries, especially from the young engineers, in my LinkedIn, my Facebook, all that. I know how to start. How to start. You want to become somebody in this industry. For me, it's up to you. What do you want? What do you want? Okay, it's not what you think. Okay? It's what you want to do. Okay, you can think, but subsequently it's what I want to do. This is exactly what I wanted to do. First, I know who am I very well. I know what I love to do. I know what I enjoy to do. I know what half my life is. What kind of life I will lead. So I just suit everything together. Okay, so I would say now, my passion is my career is under one roof. Okay, so I love what I'm doing, regardless how difficult is that. Okay, I know energy efficiency industry in Malaysia is not that easy. Okay, still very tough. Okay, so far when it comes to as a energy management system consultant, I don't talk about big money. Because you want to big money, if you talk about big money, go to RE industry now. Okay, you go to RE industry where you can they got plenty of project on solar, all that. It cost 100 millions over in the investment, all that. Go for that. That's big money. That. And untuk big money, you go for project based kind of job. Okay, you can retrofit. Retrofitting projects cost millions of ringgit. Because energy management consultant not a big money jobs, but I would say it's comfortable money. Okay, because purely knowledge based. Okay, knowledge based, and then you have to keep yourself updated all the time. Okay, but being an engineer, if you are an engineer, had experience. That's why I decided to practice. All the energy audits, hands-on experience, all that for almost 7 years. Before I started to think about specializing in something, because you cannot be generalist. Subsequently, over certain years, a certain age, you must know something very well. You must master in one subject. Okay, that's what my advice to for young engineers that asking such question to me. Okay, but same time, this knowledge-based industry is something that you have to keep learning. Okay, keep reading. The best way to learn is through learning, to reading. Okay, so that's me. That's me. So now what I do now, I do a lot of training. Okay, consultancy. Okay, and since the COVID came, okay, early this year especially, it changed a lot of things. Okay, consultancy affected as well. Even training badly affected because of the restriction of the face-to-face training on that. But I have to be creative now, right? So that's why now I am embarking on online trainings. Started to learn new skills, about new technology, all that. So I have to keep myself updated on that. Okay, so that's it. That's me. Oh, okay. I forgot to mention my degree was mechanical engineering from UKM. I graduated in 1997. Okay, in 1997. What do I have? I have a certificate of National Expert as a National Expert for Energy Management System from United Nations Industrial Development Organizations, or UNIDO, in 2014. I had a certificate as a Energy Manager, a Registered Electrical Energy Manager from Energy Commission. I got the certificate as so-called Management Verification Professionals, energy auditor as well. But these two things, MNV and energy auditor, I don't really use it. I'm no longer doing all that now. Okay, and then I joined a few NGOs. MISCO, I'm a committee member. MARIM, Malaysia Association of Registered Electrical Energy Manager, MARIM. I'm the vice president. Okay, I sit in some other NGOs as well. Just to, for me, I love to be where I can channel some knowledge or information about this particular industry. Okay, so over the years, sometimes I've been invited to as a guest lecturer to some universities, talking about energy management, all that. Okay, that's me. So with that, I hope that enough for all to know me better. Okay, and then we can still, keep in touch out there, you know where to reach me in the in the email that I put in the video. Okay, thank you very much. So thank you for listening. So half an hour, I talk a lot. Okay, I talk a lot. So see you again in the next video. Alright.